working on neck?
Because some people said they had some neck crunches after all that shoulder work. Yeah.
So
Okay.
today we're gonna work on neck.
So start warming it up a little bit.
Ah.
Tell people what you're doing.
We're basically just gonna go the neck around like this.
And why is that helpful?
Because it uses your neck and
Moves it around, loosens it up.
moves it around and loosens it up.
Great.
Excellent.
And ready?
Ready.
Begin.
Do you need to keep the rest of your body still when you do it?
Yeah.
There are a lot of crunches.
Uh-huh.
Awesome. Thank you, buddy.
Bye-bye.
Bye, thank you.
Bye. Thank you, Mac.
All right. See if I'm in the view. Okay. So America's right. We are going to work on some neck stuff today. I'm going to talk a little bit about how positions in your posture determine what's happening in your neck. So first, just since this is Egoscue and we really look at the position of your pelvis, and we can see if there's two main positions in your pelvis. One would be tucked under or rounded like this, and the other one would be forward. Now, you can be strong and forward or dumping forward, weak and forward, and if that's happening, or even if your pelvis is what we call ski jumping, this forward lean, then your head often wants to balance itself over your pelvis somewhere, which can change what's happening in the position of your neck. It's also definitely related to your shoulder position, which is why we've kind of gone from pelvis, or even feet, knees, and hips, pelvis, into shoulders. And this position that many of us have had where we're hanging out over our computer and the downward pull on our shoulders is there, then you often look up like this. So even though the head is forward, there's actually an extension demand on the neck, and that crunches into the neck. We also know that stress and letting your shoulders come up like this upward rise, can change muscles in the neck, like the sternocleidomastoid, which is in the front, the deep neck flexors in the back, and the levator scapula in the back, which is the muscle that lifts, elevates your shoulder blades. So as we go through pelvis, rib cage, shoulders, we're going to make sure that the shoulders are in a good position so that we can then move the head or skull back into the right position, into a good skull loop, which generally means coming back and then having a little bit of length so that you're not in this overextension demand of the head. So, check your pelvis, feel your feet on the floor. Place your hands somewhere in your body just to help ground yourself. Take a few deep breaths. Begin to show up for yourself right here in the moment. Feel your feet on the floor. Feel where the breath moves in your body this morning. And start to have an awareness of where your head wants to be over the rest of your body. It's a really heavy piece that when we move it around, your body has compensations in all different ways to be able to counterbalance the weight of your head. So let's make sure your pelvis is in a good position and we'll work from there. So come on into a lunge. I'm going to have you actually come down, start on your knees. See if I can bring this down just a bit. Let's go right foot forward lunge. And as you just get into this position, make sure that this back left leg is straight up and down, the pelvis is neutral. And then allow your body to just be heavy and kind of root into that position. Just gently open up your hips slowly. And then gently press up out of that. Switch your legs. First, align your pelvis over that leg bone. And then reaching forward, lunge. And just let the heaviness of the floor take you down. That summer ground is really drying out. So as you imagine this foot grounded into the earth, it's kind of into that dry ground, not like spring muck. It's hard, needs some rain, dry ground, so the ground pushes back up to you. Go ahead and switch sides. This time I want you to feel more of that hard ground and push down. And as you push down, you're going to feel that glute turn on. And you can use your hands on your front knees to connect into your butt muscles and also pull your belly up and away from this front thigh a little bit. And your knee can travel over the arch of your foot. And that will give you the best push down into the earth to turn glutes and belly back on. Take some deep breaths. And switch sides. So balance that sinking position. And then press that foot down into the earth, that hard summer earth. And then square your pelvis, scissoring your legs a little bit back forward. That back knee pressing down as well. And then finding glutes all the way at the base of the pelvis, pressing up so that you can have the most amount of power. So that if I asked you to stand up out of this, you could tuck that back toe under. I'm not going to right now, but tuck that back toe under and press up into that front leg because you have that big glute power showing up for you. Excellent. Come on out of that. Come into cats and dogs. Hands on the floor, strong arms, strong elbows, round and arch, tucking your tail, coming down. And then because we're paying attention to the head today, I want you to have a little bit of a shoulder blade move down your back, in towards your heart, and then bring your ears back, and then lengthen up. And tuck all the way under. Round, coming down, shoulder blades move this direction as if I was holding my arm out like this and I'm pulling the whole thing back and in toward my heart a little bit to help the shoulders come together, and then ears and then chin and round and down. A couple more. Moving gently into that today. Nice. Come to kneeling. Stay kneeling. You may double pad your knees if you need to, but hold that position so pelvis level here so that your Not in this anterior tip. This anterior tip, I'm resting on my hip flexors, but my glutes aren't really doing much. So use your glutes. Push down into the floor to really get the whole leg bone to sit in a good position. Use that pressing down to the earth. Then rise up out of that and start to go shoulder rolls up and forward and around. If your pelvis is a little bit out of level and you know that, can you find your glutes more on that lower side and see if you can press down more and see if that levels out your pelvis a little bit? Just try it. So if I let mine do this, I just see how that worked. Now if I use both my glutes, there's a leveling. Good. Backwards, up and back and around. Excellent. Now from here, I want you to bring your arms out to the side a little bit. Bring your elbows forward and then take your shoulders back. So muscles we talked about last time that come up and over the shoulder into the rotator cuff in the shoulder that comes across the top of the shoulder and underneath the shoulder blade, and they pull in this general direction down and in. So if you bring the arms out a little bit, then you can connect into your shoulder blades a little better, and we'll do this in a few different ways today, to let the shoulder blades move back and down in that general direction. And if you hold your arms out just a little bit, broaden, you have a easier line of pull through those muscles in the fascia. Keep pressing down through your legs, through your knees. Open that up. Nice. Let your arms relax. Now come all the way up to standing. If you can do this at the wall, please do. Feet at the wall. If not, you can just press your arms back in space. So it would look like that if you don't have a wall. If you have a wall, feet at the wall, bringing your arms out, so broaden and then open, let the shoulders come out, and then press the whole arm into the wall. Keep your head back at the wall so that you have the back of your heart, the back of your hips, and the back of your head on the wall. Then press and release. Press, release. Press, release. Good. So now we're pelvis neutral, pressing down through your hips, finding that root into the floor, and then open at the chest with the curves, appropriate curves in your spine, and then bring your arms down. Now let's take it all the way into your head. So I said a lot of times, even if the head is forward, there's this extra extension demand. So for right now, I want you to tuck your chin and then gently press your head back into the wall. So neck long, find your deep neck flexors, lengthen the back of your head and some of those muscles that might pull tight and down, and press your head straight back into the wall as if you're pushing a button that's there. This is a Mackenzie exercise. Press and release 10 times, keeping everything else on the wall if you can. If you don't have a wall, if it's very difficult, you could do this on the floor. You could lie down, and that way you could still press against something. Nice. And then turn your head all the way to the side so you're in rotation. And let's just do a couple of those first. Open that up, So letting your chin lead, imagining that your head is balancing on that Atlassian axis and you're turning those bottom vertebrae at the base of your head that your head rotates on. And that starts the rest of the bones, but that a lot of the vertebrae in your neck are small. So those facet joints are little, the spinous processes are rather large, and they can get stuck. The neck is often a place where manual techniques work well. Having somebody, a massage therapist or a chiropractor or a physical therapist or somebody work on the muscles and joints in your neck so that they move well. And remember that also all the nerves travel through those positions that are the power supply to your organs and your upper limbs. And good. So now turn your head all the way and then press from the temple, the side of your head right above your ear, back into the wall or the floor if you're lying down. Press, release 10 times. And see if you can get those rotators of the neck. So some of the scalenes, some of the erectors up the neck to start to fire a little bit. Press, release, and release your head. Turn it the other direction. Turn and press your head into the wall. Press, release, press, release 10 times. Are you still pressing down into your feet evenly? And as you turned, did your shoulders come off the wall at all? My right shoulder came unplugged a little bit. See if yours did. Back to neutral. Nice. Now tuck your chin all the way and let your head slide forward. So as if you're starting to do like a forward curl. And just let it move through about the upper chest and then come back and try to, one vertebra at a time, open that up back to neutral. Good. Chin tuck, down and forward, and back, and open. One more. Chin tuck, and forward, and back, and open. Nice. Ear towards your shoulder. You can use the opposite arm just to reach away from you. You can do this at the wall or just in space. And just let the whole side of your neck, where your arm bone comes into the deltoid and the upper trap, let that all open on the side of your neck. Big full breath. And other side, take it over, arm out, reaching, shoulder blade in good alignment, big breath. Lift the side of your neck up as you pull this underside down. Inhale up, and then take one step forward. Shoulder rolls all the way around. Crunches in mind. Reverse. Feel your feet one more time. Are you still pressing evenly? If you had that little hip out of level, can you press evenly through your feet and square your hips again? Excellent. Have a seat in your chair and bring your block and your strap with you, please. So you to determine a little bit about what's going on in your own pelvis. Do you have a spine that tends to want to go this way? Do you have a spine that tends to be overarched in any of the places? So when I go into that, you can see my rib cage unplug. So that would be more correct. I want you to find the most kind of neutral position for you. And you may need to like sit really forward and get your sit bones to be way behind you and then sit up and try to find the most neutral position you've got. Start at your pelvis, check your ribs, look at your shoulders and your neck, or see if you can feel where they are in space. And then place that block between your knees. Press your feet down into the floor, because I even want some glute awareness here. And then in that neutral position, I want you to take your arms up like this. Rotate the thumbs back, plug the shoulders in, and then double check, did you just move your rib cage forward again? Hold your arms up there like that. Strong arms externally rotating, and then squeeze and release the block. Good, and with your head, I want you to take your ears back over your shoulders so that moves back, and then lift the back of your head up a little bit so the back of your palate is lifting. Might make you have a double chin right now, that's okay. I want that length in the back of your neck. Strong arms, external rotation. Squeeze the block with your knees. Squeeze, release. Squeeze, release. 10 times. Good. Relax your arms. Reset your position. Here. Open. Good. And this time I want you to take your hands behind you, and then I want you to pull your elbows apart. So broaden and let that connect into the muscles in the back side of the shoulder. So here, then elbows apart, broaden, and then double check your alignment. Ribs, good. And then your head. So my head wants to be forward here. Need to go back and then bring that into neutral as best I can. You got 10 more presses. Keeping the shoulder blades moving towards your back. Squeeze the block with your knees pressed down into the floor. That's a lot going on. Breathe. And release. One more. This time, hands behind your head. And let's go into that wide position of the elbow curl. Pelvis a little bit forward. Find that neutral. Press your feet into the floor. Rib cage in alignment. Shoulders pulling down a little bit. Head pressing back into your hands so that those muscles in the back of your neck are turning on. Hold it there. Squeeze, release. Squeeze, release. Squeeze, release. Keep going. Awesome. And release out of that. From here, twist. So sitting chair twist. Feet pressing down into the floor. Hand coming across your body. And then root. Glutes active. Even press through the arches of your feet, through the heels, and start to twist your body. Through the rib cage. Find those obliques. Find those muscles that connect from the opposite shoulder to the opposite hip in the back. Turn. And then let's bring the head into it this time. Let your head turn all the way around as far as it'll go. 3 full breaths. Deep breath in. Fully out. In. Fully out. Twist more. In. Fully out. back to neutral. Second side, twisting across your body, sitting tall, feet to the floor, even find your glutes here, root down, lift up, then find those twister muscles in your torso, this cross motion, the obliques that come across, and then the opposite shoulder, so this one left shoulder to right hip for me if I'm going to the left. Big full breath. One more, fully in, fully out. And back to neutral. Go ahead and remove your block. Come back to the floor, back into cats and dogs. Round and arch once again. And then come back to that lunge. Right leg forward, left foot back, lunge. Okay, just take your hands back behind your head, go forward into your lunge, then press both knees and feet down so that you're hugging to the midline and just rooting down into the earth so that your glutes are turning on. And then bring your head back into your hands. So literally pull the head back over your shoulders. And then go ahead and start to look up toward the sky. You can create a little bit of a cradle on the back of your head if you're down by your neck, and kind of at the base of your neck into your head, and let your head just come back into your hands. There's a little bit of traction that can happen in your neck then as you look up. Breathe. And then come up. Switch feet. Square your hips. Press down. Find your glutes. Let that translate all the way up, and then head back into your hands, press back, and then look up, and breathe. And bring it up. Good. Switch your legs again. Right forward, left back. This time reach back and grab your back foot. Root down into your front foot, front knee right over the arch of your foot. And then I want you to pull that elbow out to the side to broaden that elbow so that you can connect into that shoulder. And notice if your ribs just want to get unplugged. So broaden, open, and then lean more forward and bring your heel towards your bottom. You could do this standing too if it's uncomfortable for you to be on your knees. But that pulling of the elbow, so square hips, broaden that elbow wide, that lets you connect into that shoulder to get the muscles to pull back behind your heart. Then position your head over that, chin down, head up, and just breathe with that good head position. And switch sides. Left foot up, right hand grabbing behind you. and then pull the elbow wide, broaden, and then open that shoulder. Check your ribs. Did you unplug your ribs? Find your glutes. I'm using this hand on the other knee to push so that I have more connection into my belly, pulling my low belly up off that front thigh. Broaden that elbow wide. Open up that front thigh, and then finally chin down, head up. Now, you have to make that correction for yourself. If your tendency is to be here, chin down might be enough. If your head is just forward, you might just need to pull it back. What do you need to do to get your head to come back over your shoulders? And release out of that. Have a seat on the floor. Both legs out straight. Root your thigh bones down into the floor. Check the alignment, hips, ribs, shoulders. I'm going to put my arms out here so that same thing can happen. I can broaden and pull, connect into the back of my shoulders, and then move my legs out and in, femur rotations. Thighs tight, up around the kneecap. And then check your head again, hands down, broaden the elbows wide, shoulders back, and pull that line of pull from the top of the shoulder down to behind your heart. Make that active, and then set your head over your shoulders in the best way you can. Chin down, head long, or just head back a little bit. You choose. Take it wider, same thing. Out and in. Check your alignment of your arms again. Elbows broaden, shoulders back, head in alignment. Then legs. Wider one more time. Back in. Toe crunches, curl them all the way over. Lift and spread them out. Curl, spread, curl. Think of that arch that goes right across those toes. That arch has to hug up and in. And then spread, curl, squinch, spread. Nice. Thigh bones down into the floor. You can take your sit bones a little bit back. See if you can try to put a little bit of an arch in your low back. Then from there, thighs down, ribs in alignment, shoulders moving onto your back, back and down a little bit. Even here, see if you can squeeze your glutes. Can you squeeze your glutes? Just tighten them up. Do both of them work? Even here, now this is, glutes are hip extenders. They take the leg behind you. So it's difficult when your legs are in front of you to find your butt muscles, but you should still be able to do it. See if you can clench your butt muscles, pull your thigh bones down to the floor, and then bring your arms up here. Bring your head over your shoulders, over your hips, and then glide 10 times up and down. So shoulders get broad, shoulders come down into your back. Find the lat that connects this line of fascia right here into the muscle. That is the muscle that pulls your arms down like this. If you were to have a weight over your head, pull down the serratus right at your rib cage, and then all those rotator cuff muscles and your mid-trap on your back, all those muscles are working to hold your shoulder blades in good alignment so that they move well over your rib cage. Your rib cage has to be in good alignment for the shoulders to have a rhythm over the top. That rhythm in your shoulders also determines a lot about what's going on in your neck. If your shoulders are here and your neck is squinched and your shoulders are trying to glide over the upper part of your rib cage, it can be kind of crunchy in your neck. So really get the rest of this set up well so that you can let the shoulder blades glide over your rib cage in that optimal rhythm. Awesome. Relax for a minute or a moment, and then into arm circles. I'm going to have you do arm circles with elbows broad and arms a little forward today, this way, so that you can more easily connect into the back. So go there first. So arms level, forward, ribs level, even clench your glutes here, press your legs down into the floor, hug into the back of your shoulders, and then open them up. Now circle forward, 40 circles. Can you hold your glutes tight while you do arm circles in this seated position? My left one can, my right one's like, no, I don't really want to. And relax. How about yours? Some people got it? Yeah? Cool. Okay, backwards. Arms forward. Up, glutes, plug in, ribs, head position, into the back of your heart. Palms up, open them wide, circle backwards. Find the bottom edge of your shoulder blades and feel that work more. Less up around your neck. Free your neck a little bit. And release. Awesome. Onto your side for an upper spinal floor twist. Stack your hips and knees. You may want something under your head just so that your spine is in a little better alignment and your neck's not falling over today. So if you put your block underneath your head, that can be helpful. Then really keep the knees stacked. Open up the arm. Let the ribs twist. And then let your head also rotate over. Find your breath. Fully in, fully out. Just imagine that all of the nerves coming from the base of your skull through the vertebrae, that all of those vertebrae are in alignment with the proper curve in your neck and the spacing that it needs so that each nerve can travel through that opening and have as much power as it needs to the rest of your body. So just imagine that you have perfect flow of prana, energy, life force from your head into the organs and into your upper body because there's open spaces in your neck. Those spaces allow the joints to just move exactly like they need to so the whole spine can rotate. And then untwist. And go to the other side. Same thing here. As you line up, you need a gentle curve in your neck. Your ears right over your shoulder, over your rib cage, over your pelvis. And then as you begin to open that up, allowing the head to turn, ribs to turn, shoulders to open. And then do that visualization again. From the base of your head into your neck, there's length and space. The correct muscles rotate when they're supposed to. And that all of those nerves, all of that life force and power goes from the base of your head into your arms, into your heart, into your lungs, exactly like it's supposed to. Full optimal power supply. Untwist. And then come onto your back. And level your pelvis so that it's in neutral. And then I want you to tuck your chin here. And then use the muscles that are deep in your neck, your deep neck flexors. You're going to have to use your sternocleidomastoid a little bit here. That's the jaw muscle that connects into the neck. But I want you to just curl your head up off the floor and find the deepest muscles in your neck to do that, your deep neck flexors. Pelvis level, ribcage stable, belly on a little bit, and then let your head come back down. So essentially you're doing a neck crunch. Okay? Tuck, bring your head forward, and then as you tuck so much, lift your head off the floor, and then come back down. We're going to do 10 of those. That's 2. Keep going. Tuck, lift, and then roll. Tuck, lift. Now again, we're doing those because if you're forward at your computer all the time and there's this extra extension in the wrong place, maybe you have flat neck and then too much curve up high or too much curve down low, or just your head is forward, there's usually an extra extension demand somewhere. So to counter that extension demand, we're going to go into the flexion of our neck and keep strengthening those deep neck flexors. One more. Nice. Then lift your feet up off the floor, either in table or to legs straight out. Hold it. And pull it in. One more. Chin tuck, head lift, then legs up. Then let's take your arms over your head, shoulders into your back, and hold it. Find those shoulder blade muscles that pull down to the middle like you're doing a lat pull. Find the rhomboid, find the trap, find the lat. Hold it there. Belly working. And release it down. Go ahead and let your head roll side to side. Open those spaces again. Nice. Roll onto your hands and knees and come into a push-up position or prep for a push-up position. Now we're going to make the back of the neck fire up a little bit. So from here, find the proper curves in your spine. Little bit of an arch in your low back. Rounding at your upper back. And then stretch out so that you're in your plank position. And then let your head be right over so that your neck is long, your head is back, and then you're looking out just in front of your hands, opening up that space. Hold and breathe. Connect the whole body as a unit from the head into the shoulders, into your hips. Hold it and be strong. And then come on down. Side plank. Elbow down or hand down, your choice. Some variation of the leg position, either leg up or both legs straight or feet one in front of the other, you may choose. And then the side of your neck is going to have to do a lot of work, as well as the side of the oblique. Press up, hold it, and think of, even take that opposite hand behind you. Press your head back into that hand, open it up, so that you're connected all the way from your neck into the rest of your body. 10 more seconds. And release. Second side. Again, you can cross that leg in front. You could be on your elbow or on your hand. Some version of a one-arm bridge or a side plank. And then connect in, take your hand behind your head, pull your head back into that position, and then open it up. Double check your rib cage, make sure it didn't just unplug. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Come on down. And then into table position, feet on the floor, hands back or out to the side. You determine what feels right for you and your wrist. Lift your hips off the floor. And just for the first one, just feel, how is that in your shoulder? Maybe you feel a pull through the bicep. Really turn on those triceps. Notice what's happening for you in your elbow. Do you have a tendency to hyperextend the elbow or to not let it get all the way straight? How can you get that arm to be straight in the best way that you can? And then even here, let's go into head. So lift, and then see if you can control ears back over your shoulder, look up, just to the place where it feels good to you. Shoulder blades hugging in and back. Big internal rotation in that shoulder. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Come on down. And then all the way up to standing. Interlace your fingers. Bend over. Take it up. Just let gravity pull on your body. And then maybe shake out your head. How is it from one side to the other? What's the balance? And then go ahead and one vertebrae at a time. Press through your feet, squeeze your butt, roll one vertebrae at a time through your middle, ribs, shoulders, and your head and neck. Good, do that again. Bend over. Then feet, glutes, start to pull it up. One vertebrae at a time. See if you can even feel each abdominal, each into the ribs, middle back, shoulders, head, and neck. And then big shoulder or big head roll one more time at the top. Just let your head really balance itself right over your shoulders. Awesome. Okay, one balance today. Use your chair or your block, and with your ears in line with your shoulders and your ribs in line with your pelvis, I just want you to tip over, so slight bend at the knee, tip over, lift that back leg up behind you, and then this whole thing as a unit coming back up. 10 times on each side. Control, over, control, back up. Working like a pendulum. When you've done 10, switch sides. And then come on down, either onto your back or into static back, whatever feels good to you. Place your head by gently pressing it back into the floor. And just once again, turn on the muscles in your neck that allow your head to have both curve and be back. And if you are someone whose head is a little forward normally, and just being back like that makes your chin come up too high, you may want a pillow today or something small. If not, feel proper curve in your neck balanced with that long head or head back and tall, so that that balances the arch in your neck. And then gently tuck each shoulder underneath you so that those muscles that go from the back of the shoulder blade into the middle of your heart, that's connected, and your shoulders are resting on your rib cage. Make sure there's a small arch in your low back, and that if you squeeze your glutes, that you can have access to both of your butt muscles. And you're balancing on your sacrum. And then whatever position your legs are in, straight or up on your block, just breathe into your legs for a moment. Allow gravity to open the front of your body. And allow it to rest into the floor. Connect into your breathing. Become the observer of your mind. Hold that image from our twist of the network of nerves that come from your brain through your spinal cord, through the spaces in each vertebrae in your neck, and supply the power to your whole body. First, arms and chest and lungs and heart, and then moving down your back, those lower nerves that move from your back into your pelvis and down your legs. Just imagine that all of those nerves have adequate space so that that energy can flow most optimally. From your head all the way to your big toe. Every little cell in your body is healthy. Every little cell in your body is well. Thank you for being here. You may turn off your computer if you'd like to stay here. Otherwise, unmute yourself so you can check in, say hello as we wrap it up for the week.